going to give an overview of my pedal layout, and maybe it will help people out there as they're designing their own solutions. This is rigged for, I lead worship at a church in Maryland, and so this is going to be unique to the needs of a worship artist. I'm playing guitar, so I need pedal or functionality. I'm running Ableton Live off of a MacBook Pro, and then I am pumping that into the system through a Scarlett 6i6, I think it is. I'm using that because it has balanced outputs. I don't want to have to run through a direct box, and it gives me MIDI as well. So in another video, I went over my MIDI pedal. This is custom made. I made that and had all the parts laser designed and coded it and soldered it all together. But other things that I'm running on this board, that's just my in-ear monitor piece. Of course, that's my direct box. This is my HD500X that I run my guitar off of. And then inside of this, I have a receiver for the guitar and then a wireless in-ear transmitter in there. And then on the back side, I'm running just a 19-inch power rack thing right there to power everything. And then I have an umbilical that I set up and plug it all in. Doesn't take too long. So here's some of the cool functionality about this. So the workflow is I output a MIDI command from this, which fires off in the Ableton Live a song. Now I have it coded into this that it's also receiving back the beats per minute from Ableton Live. So as soon as I press play, I'm getting a visual indicator, as well as in my ears I'll hear the click, but the visual indicator is humongous. A couple other things that are happening. So like I said, Ableton Live outputs through MIDI, and I have two outputs of MIDI. I have one through USB back into the foot controller, and two, I have a MIDI output through my sound card, the big red box there. And that sound card is running in series, first to my HD500, and then second into our lighting board upstairs, and is firing off different lighting cues. That's helpful for me because 4 times out of 5 I don't have a lighting operator, so this allows me to kind of control the lights. I program them on Friday, and then it just runs the script, and that's really helpful. But one of the really cool things that as a worship leader, I don't want to spend my time tap dancing, firing off not only the song, but different patches, and having to tap in the time or having to code it in. So like I said, there's 2 MIDI feeds. One gives me my beats per minute here, but that same functionality of Ableton Live, and I know many others have it, can output the beat per minute into either a keyboard or an HD500. Not to mention that a Mac system can run it wirelessly. So I actually run a wireless beats per minute to our keyboard, and they get their delay functions from that. So that MIDI feed going into the HD500 does 2 things for me. First, it gives me the tap tempo. So if here, I'll show you that. So right now it punches in the tap tempo, and it has a degree of error. So it's supposed to be 160, but you see a little bit of a fluctuation, and I don't know why that does that. It just has some sort of like transientness to it. But again, I mean, it's off by like 1%, less than 1%. It's not much of an issue for 95% of the music. If you have a really soupy delay, sometimes it can be an issue because it can just get enough mud in the mix that can become a problem. So 1, I don't have to program delays anymore. 2, this pedal, I don't know if you saw that, but the MIDI feed will also fire off a patch. So there's information on how to do that with the user manual and all that stuff. Basically, this listens for a certain command, command 1, command 2, command 3, command 4 on a given patch, and you can go all the way through all of your presets that way. So that's helpful for me because every week I overwrite song 1, song 2, song 3, song 4 with my HD500, and that way when I'm playing a song, I mean, in theory I could press play here, run the entire set, and it will sequence all of my patches for me. It can also include volume swells. I don't do that. I have manual control over that. But that's just a phenomenal functionality that I really like. So here, let me show it again. You'll see when I press play, it'll go to patch 3 and patch 4. Exactly when I tell it to through the software. So that's my pedal. My pedal rig. I'm really happy with it. It's very reliable. I have had like 0 problems with either this board or that functionality. Ableton gives me fits every once in a while, but the other thing I would say is that because of this little gap here, I can see this red light right there, and that shows me when I'm getting signal from my guitar just for troubleshooting purposes. That's very helpful. So I hope that helps. Give someone else a good idea and helps them formulate their own solutions. God bless.